Good morning. My name is Chris Kerr, and welcome to the Morning Charge. Today we're going to get right into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is reported all over the internet. Again, you can Google HSBC money laundering, and you'll find lots of information. Basically, the news today and the last couple of days has been that HSBC has failed to comply or respect, in a variety of different cases, international sanctions and rules regarding money laundering, certainly international standards. And as a result, they have effectively money laundered for countries like Iran to the tune of about 19.7 billion US over a 6-year period, and a variety of drug cartels and individuals in Mexico to the tune of another 7 billion. Really, this is just another example of yet another banking scandal hitting the books right now, showing us one more time that just like the LIBOR scandal yesterday, the mortgage crisis scandals, the bailouts, etc., the banks are not the safe haven for conservative care of our money anymore. The last time I think we could all agree we were getting interest payments worth talking about for the money we deposited was a long, long time ago. Things like the automatic tellers, ATM machines, being a way of saving us money because we didn't have to pay the banks such enormous fees for having tellers around as much. Obviously, that was hogwash because now automatic teller machine fees are a titanic revenue stream for banks. So, all that said, it's time for everyone to start looking at where they're going to put their money instead of in banks. Or how are we going to control banks so that this doesn't happen again? We get them back online to being the conservative financial people we expected them to be. Our next topic of the day is Soho OS. And Soho OS is small office, home office. And it's a CRM system for small business. It has a variety of different tools and functions for it, including the ability to send invoices, to progress your lead structure from prospect to lead to client. You can include vendors. You can do a lot of other things with it. But that's not really why it's such a big news story for us today. Today we discovered that they have something here called a leads widget. Now, Soho OS is generally free for just about everything they do, except for this page of stuff that you see on the screen right now. And the leads widget is one of them. So I'm going to show you what it says as far as the leads widget. And what it says basically is that once you get the information for your specific leads widget tied to your Soho OS account, you can take that data or that code and directly import it to your website, your blogs, your fan pages, all of your social media that accepts it. You can put it everywhere. And anytime a potential lead gets involved, an email notification is sent to you automatically, and the new lead is automatically populated into your CRM at Soho OS. So all of their contact information automatically goes in, and you get to work on it right away without having to stop and take the time like you would with a business card and import their information or type their information into your contacts database. It's all done in the background for you, so it's a fantastic tool for seeing how each of your social networks and your website are doing in terms of building your business. All in the background so you don't have to do that work. I can tell you, having just worked with SAP and a variety of other major corporations, mega corporations are spending millions trying to get this kind of technology set up on their sites. So for you to be able to get it, in this case, for as little as $2.95 a month, $3 a month, is awesome. And Soho OS currently has a deal on right now where for $39.95 a year, you can actually get all of these tools. So it's well worth looking at, if only for that leads widget. But in reality, it's actually a pretty good tool for all the small office, home office businesses out there. Next, in the news, dun, 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 dun. Yahoo and a variety of other sites. This is not restricted content strictly to Yahoo or AP. But apparently United Airlines had a little bit of a glitch on their website on Sunday. Apparently, if you ordered a frequent flyer ticket to go to Hong Kong or Asia, all it cost you was 4 frequent flyer miles and $33, and you got a first-class round-trip ticket. It was supposed to cost you 140,000 frequent flyer miles and $33 in taxes. Unfortunately, it didn't process that way. Unfortunately, being for United Airlines. For the consumers, a lot of frequent flyers had posted this information online, and potentially thousands of people took advantage of it. United Airlines has since said they are not honoring it anymore. They're not honoring the tickets that were issued unless you're already in travel at the time. And as a result, they have run afoul of the new regulations by the Department of Transportation under the new laws passed this year that say airlines cannot increase the prices after you've already bought and paid for the ticket. The Department of Transportation hasn't decided which way they're going to come down on this, but it's entirely possible, depending on the number of tickets sold, that United Airlines could be responsible for possibly as much as $50 or $60 million in fines and being required to honor the tickets anyway. So, something definitely to keep watch on, both as an e-commerce story, because most of us have an e-commerce business and you want to know what you're responsible for paying in case of a glitch, but also from the point of view of the customers and how they deal with an airline based on a fair exchange. There's a lot of news value for all businesses out of this and all consumers. Next, I tripped over something that's actually an old link from 2008, but it'd be good for us all to check and see if this is still ongoing, and I actually expect that it is. In 2008, a number of MBA schools, major Ivy League MBA schools, in fact 100 of them, offered and started to offer business and entrepreneurship courses for free. These aren't Gumby courses. These are courses by Carnegie Mellon, MIT, etc., to help your business grow for all intents and purposes. So you'll get courses on early stage capital, taxes and business strategy, pricing, economics, communication, leadership, management, you name it. If it's business related, marketing and advertising, it's all here. The question is, are they still being offered? And I expect that they probably are, because what the universities used these for was as a mining list to gain potential customers for their MBA programs. So if you were interested in some of these, you were probably a candidate for the full MBA program anyway. As a business person, we have a lot of information and a lot of experience that goes a long way down the road to what we need. Sometimes a couple of courses, especially if they're free, can really put you over the edge and solve a lot of those long-term business problems for you. So I'd definitely take a look at this. If you've had any exposure to it or you've checked into it recently, let us know. Maybe we'll give them a call and see if we can get them both to update the page, but also to update our viewers on what's being offered today. Last but not least, wanted to show you a sample of a profile. I tend to get a lot of profiles submitted to me. As most of you know, I've got about 14,000 and change connections on LinkedIn, and I probably get about 100 requests a day. About 40 of them now are fitting a format very much like this, where you see there's a manager, whether it's HR manager, product manager, something along those lines, at a 3-letter code, Inc., group, something to that effect. There's usually very little other information. It's usually an American destination. Oftentimes, this does not match the company name or the expertise. In this case, it's very general. The university is usually on the opposite part. The university they graduated from is usually on the opposite part of the country from where they actually work. The experience lists the title, the company, and nothing else. And the education, here's where it's different. One of the big telltale signs is that although it says Southern Utah University, Bachelor of blah, 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 and it's a fairly recent degree, this information is not standard to North American profiles. North American students typically do not put that information in there. So, especially if you've been out of university since like 2005, this is not a relevant piece of information for hiring people anyway. So, as far as a North American profile is concerned, you will find these, and they are particularly relevant, in European or Asian profiles. which is part of the big hint. Most of these profiles are actually put together by virtual assistants or whatnot for other companies, so that they aren't legitimate profiles. This picture is very likely not representative of that actual name representing an individual person who really exists. It's probably not the case. Of the 40 or 50 or 60 I get every day, maybe one of them is legitimate. The rest of them are all fake profiles. So I wanted to show you those key markers so that as you get these profiles, you can weed them out too. There may be some people who are legitimate who are being ignored as a result, but if that's the case, any of us would say very quickly, at least tell me what the heck you do. Tell me what your job is, what your background is, how long you've had the position. Tell me enough information to be able to make a legitimate choice to keep you. Why are you joining my network if you're not going to tell me anything about yourself? So I wanted to share that with you, and that's the contribution from Reyactive today. So that wraps up our show. This has been the Morning Charge with Chris Kerr, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.